bro, Nina, Diego, everybody that is
Hello.
here, and the thousand bots that are here also. Hello, everyone. Very welcome. Very good to have you here. Here in the Amazon it's morning, but I imagine that in Africa is the afternoon right now. So good afternoon for you all. For you all, we gonna start with some of our partners, and what's great that both of our partners today are from Tanzania, which is a Tanzania great, which is amazing that we can manage to get them both in the same day. This is fantastic because we can get an overview what we're doing in this amazing country. I will ask for start maybe with you, Kratos, if you want to share your
Yeah,
screen, or
sure.
if you want to share your presentation, or if you need, you can send me also. I can share it in any way. Is really great.
Okay, I shared. One moment. I need to.
And do you have any questions? You raised your hand while Kratos is putting his presentation. Want to say something? Or maybe you raised your hand like by mistake. I don't know. Sometimes I do it. Anyway, if you want to say something, just let me know, and
Okay.
then
It's
okay.
okay. Okay. All right. It's coming.
No worries.
I share entire screen. This is the entire screen, and then I put in the presentation. Can you see anything? No.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's appearing. Yeah, here right now. Great,
Yeah. Yeah. So how many minutes do you have?
great, man. I can see perfectly.
Okay. So how many minutes do I
In
have
10
to?
minutes is will be great. 10, 15 minutes is great.
Okay.
In
Okay.
15 minutes
Great.
it will be
So
great, but don't get constrained by the time. Just let it flow. Do your thing. Don't worry about the time. We can always manage some time.
yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Welcome. I want to thank Gabriel, Fatin, and everyone for putting this together in this very nice community where we learn from different organizations who are doing amazing works. Um, I want to present about Blue Carbon Tanzania. It's a company that is in Tanzania, and we are conducting mangrove restoration and basically protecting mangroves, seagrass, seaweeds, and everything across the coastline. But the main objective is to have a nature-based solution for climate change. So I've put almost tricking title of my presentation. It's real-time restoration of 10 million mangroves in 10 years for nature and climate mitigation. So throughout my presentation, I'm gonna talk about what is real time, what is restoration, and what is the big plan we have in this mission for Blue Carbon Tanzania. So basically, worldwide, they are racing. We are racing with the clock, with the climate change, and we see Elon Musk and many people in the world are putting up technologies to remove CO2 from the atmosphere. And some other organizations are aiming to cut the emissions or to compensate their carbon emissions. So this is from the technology side. But in this presentation, we will talk more about the role of nature and what nature can do. You see in this photo right on my right hand down, you see there is an ecosystem. Basically, carbon is being captured by, let's say, a forest, and then this carbon that is being captured, it's coming from the industries and from everywhere, and we call this payment for ecosystem services simply because the ecosystem does the work, and there are people, restoring this system, and they need to be supported in different ways, and one of the ways payment for ecosystem services. So there is very established systems where people on the ground who contribute to the carbon capture gets paid. And the most important thing when we talk about the nature itself, it's not only about the CO2 that is being absorbed, but also there is biodiversity in there. There are fishes, small fish, fish babies, the nurseries stays there. When they grow up, they go back to the sea. So we as Blue Carbon, we are more from the ecosystem side, and somehow we try to use technology to improve the absorptions of these ecosystems, and mainly restoration. And where am I taking you all? I'm taking you all to Tanzania. So it's in the country in the east of Africa, bordered by Kenya on the north and Mozambique on the south. And in our country, we have, of course, the beautiful mountain of Kilimanjaro, the Serengeti. I think Fatin have been there. Um, and we have this coastline that is around 1,500, and you can see all these green sites. They are mangroves, but mostly our locations that Blue Carbon Tanzania is based is in Kisiju and Buyuni, where we do our work of mangrove protection and restoration. So why mangroves matters? Because mangroves, they are more than just trees, They stay along the coastline, which means that they protect the coastal against the erosion. And many big cities are on the coastal side, and they have so many assets and businesses going on. And from the research, they value that 1 hectare of mangrove have a value of around 10,000 a year. Imagine a country like Tanzania where we have 100,000 hectares of mangroves, and we've already lost like 100,000 hectares in mangroves. And in terms of fisheries, it's more than 3,000. Tourism, you see the numbers, more than 500, and climate regulations. And the UNESCO have already estimated that 1 hectare of mangrove stores around 4,000 tons of carbon. And these 4,000 tons of carbon is the same as taking out 2,500 cars off the road. And so it shows how promising these ecosystems are. And apart from absorbing CO2, as you can see in the picture, you have the fishes and biodiversity thriving. So it's more than just a tree that absorb CO2. So, in terms of our work, Blue Carbon Tanzania, as I said, our work is centered around mangrove restoration. You see here is a community we work with at Kisiju, the local women groups mostly. We go there on field, we plant mangroves, and the other and on the other side, we help them to get sustainable livelihoods through seaweed farming. So basically, this last year we launched the 10 million mangroves program, and in this 10 million mangroves program, we want to try to restore at least 10 million mangroves by the year 2030. And the program was well received by the local communities, and we have several partners who joined, include the big companies like Ergo, and we had support from the Climate Kick and some university and the Trinity College in Dublin, where we've had to learn about the science part and toward the implementation of this program. And we hope when we have 10 million mangroves, we can have 100 million tons of CO2 removed every year. And this is only about CO2, but there are also other benefits, including the improving fishery and coastal protection, etc. So the impact that we just shared when we applied from the hypercert is that between January and February we planted up around 4,000 mangroves, and these 4,000 mangroves, when we did the quantification over the lifetime of these mangroves, they will absorb CO2 that is equivalent to taking off the road 1,500 cars. And the impact is already on the green globe. I will show you in the end of the slides. So, Blue, there's so many organizations in the world. Probably it's not the first talk that you hear about mangroves along the coastline. The coastline is very complex, giving the coming tides and the water, the soil. Things can change so quickly, making mangrove restoration difficult sometimes. So traditional mangrove restoration, I think in Tanzania, mangroves have like 3 decades since when the first restoration started here. And actually, the local communities have been doing the random planting without considering the sites, and not using enough science to look at the soil and hydrology. And they don't use so much of technology like in mapping, biodiversity, and so forth. So, of course, there is some success, but many programs fail to meet the goals because of this. So, Blue Carbon Tanzania, and what we normally do. So, Blue Carbon Tanzania, we want to change this first by having a very nice nursery where we raise all varieties of mangroves. So we have 10 kind of mangroves in Tanzania, and this kind of mangroves based on the location, then we can plant these mangroves. You can see on the 2 pictures on my left, this is the top location before planting, and here down is the location after planting the red mangroves called Rhizophora mucronata, with community and using the seeds from the nursery. Um, Also, what we try to do is to try to raise awareness, and in raising awareness, I've been playing a good part where we go in televisions and in radio, teaching people, raising awareness about the mangrove ecosystem, to let them stop cutting them and join efforts in restoration, because you need a community. It's not only a group of people going there and planting, but you need to make sure that everybody in the country understands, and they provide cooperation in protection. And in our work, we try to use science, and we learn already from different people in the world who are doing restoration. Like, for instance, it's not necessary to always plant. So, as I say, we always do a intensive site selection procedure, and in this selection procedure, we look at the hydrology, we look at the soil before planting, and then we learn from other people, like the people in Asia, in Indonesia, with Ben Brown and the team and the community, how they did it, and here they use the ecological based mangrove restoration. And of course, we do have a guide that we use for our mangrove restoration project. And so Blue Carbon Tanzania is quite young, but um, um, 1 year of success since we founded just in 2024. We've been part of the we were selected as winners of the carbon removal innovations by Climate Geek, and we were featured in different news like Ergo and many others. And through this, also our director managed to participate in some of the very important meetings to influence policies, network, and herself as a blue carbon specialist, she had she received climate protection fellowship with Alexander von Humboldt where she spent some time analyzing the carbon samples from our sites to try to influence the policies. And so we don't just want to restore the mangroves, but we want to use technology to restore the mangroves. So the technology that includes to look at the mangroves from above, and to map these locations. We want in the future to be able to use artificial intelligence and machine learning to look at the locations of mangroves and where we can plant which kind of mangroves. And we want to achieve the process of installing the sensors so that we can have our funders and supporters can be able to see the mangroves that have been planted in real time. um, and we want to improve more the application of science, and we hope that we can have success. As I said before, Tanzania lost 100,000 hectares of mangrove, and if we just do it locally, we will not be able to achieve. So we want to at least restore 10,000 hectares by 2030s, and so that we can contribute to the carbon removal processes. And this is our timeline of what we want to achieve and in our strategy. And in September this year, we aim to make sure that we have the technology we need for mapping and assessing the locations. And we want by September to have like 10 hectares restored. At the moment, we for this year we have already restored 2 hectares of mangroves, and we hope that by September we will be able to achieve the 10 hectares restoration, and this one need around 50,000. And we want by end of December to already start to do the feasibility for carbon credits. As I said, there is a system of payment for ecosystem services where communities can start to benefit by selling the credits from the partners. And we want next year to do some reviews, and we hope that by March we will be completed the feasibility from the sites we are working with, and we hope that by the end of 2028 we will be able to we mobilize the investment in the coastal ecosystems, where in the next 3 years we can have around 100 hectares restored that translates to the carbon credits. And we have quite a lot of people who are working in the background, especially in the community side. So in every locations we are working with, we have rangers and we have the locals who are in contact day to day in terms of giving us information of what's happening in the sites and when we go to visit there. And we work with the women groups, as I said, in all these locations to make sure that we plant the mangroves. And with that, I would like to thank you for listening. I just wanted to show you in the green globe the how the impact was put in the green globe. I'm not sure if it's gonna load much, the internet. But it was
No
pleasure
worries.
to have a hand. Yeah.
No, no worries. We wait. I would love to see how it is in the Green Glove. And man, great, amazing presentation. I'm really amazed by the work that you're doing. I'm like, yeah. We are really thrilled to have you as partners. You guys are doing something really incredible. Oh, here it is.
Thank you so much, Gabriel, everyone. Ah, I need to zoom in something.
You stopped sharing. You know, right?
Ah, okay, wait. Or sorry, and green on the green globe. Yes, so here is our locations that was already put together by the team of Gain Forest. This is where we work, and this is where between January and February we managed to plant around 4,000 mangroves. So what you see here in every point, they are the plots. So they are the plots of like um, they are the plots of around I would say 10 by 10, and some of them they are 15 by 15 meters. So in these plots, these are the numbers of mangroves that were planted. Yeah.
Those are just from January to February.
Yes,
Those that you're.
Yeah, January to February.
That's a lot, man. Like in just 1 month, you guys broke the record. I think it's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
growth for just 1 month. That's great. Your potential, like what you're doing, is really amazing.
yeah. Thank you, Gabriel.
If okay, I can call Nuru from Bula Garden. I want to thank you like immensely for your presentation. I love to hear about your work. Really amazing. I want to call Nuru from Bula Garden to present and show some of the aspects of his community and what Bula Garden is doing in Tanzania also, which is amazing also that we have both Tanzania partners here today.
Yeah, of course, you are having all of the partners from Tanzania, and we are all glad, I think, to be the part of this call and getting to share all from our initiatives. We align so much into restoration of the degraded lands and ecosystems, get back the natural environment to its feet. So, um, as I've said previously, apologies for I may have, I'll have to miss some parts, including sharing of our initiatives, because I've restored it from my computer, and I thought it would take some few minutes to get back to what I wanted to share and present, but the main point here, we are just getting started with gain forests and seeing what we can do and play a role together on restoring the degraded lands and involving the communities on such efforts. So for the introduction, I think Bula Garden Tanzania have been established since 2023. So we are just as new, maybe as Blue Carbon Tanzania. They are 1 year ahead from us, from their registration and their recognition by the government in the other organizations as the organization that restores the ecosystems. So particularly we devote our efforts from restoration of degraded lands, um, forests from the trees that have been cut down for long and involving the communities under the contention of our project's name, Roots and Resilience, Ecosystem Restoration for Sustainable Livelihoods. So up to this time, we have successfully planted and participated with the community members on planting 100,000 trees, but mainly they are free trees before we have started our initiatives. So the trees have been um, planted in different farmyards from the community members. Um, I've got some few pictures or documentation from the sites, and actually we have included the schools um, while implementing our project with the support from the government before we started with the like-minded organization across the globe. So despite not having my computer, I was actually thinking if I could share it from the drive probably, or so. How does that sound, Gabby?
Probably it's great. Yeah, but you have the something to show, or else, like I told, I can also share here. I can also share your website here, also for everyone to see. Whatever is comfortable for you and whatever you can do is great. I know some
Yeah,
troubles
of
happen all the time. Happens to me also, so don't worry about that. That's cool.
yeah,
Just
of
present what you
course.
want us to know, and that's great.
Yeah, of course, it would have been good to share it via the website, but the moment I'm not having the computer, I find it so difficult to share it. But once I'm all set with my computer, I think it would actually be easy to share all of the um, activities combined and all from our project. So maybe I would actually like to talk about the background technology we are using and one among of our partners we are partnering with and the technology we are using and sharing the work that we have been doing.
That's great. That's great. Do you since we started, you told me that you're planting mostly fruits, right?
Yeah,
Mostly
of
fruit
course.
trees. And which
Yeah.
are those fruits? And they are fruits that are like native from the lands, native from Tanzania. How does it work?
Can you repeat your questions? So
Okay.
as you can,
Yeah, which are some fruits, examples of some fruits that you're planting? Just for curiosity, I want to learn more.
of course, the kind of fruit trees we are planting includes Mangifera indica, which is the mango tree, and Persia americana, which is the avocado trees, and I think guava trees, and so many more trees. But not only that, our tree nurseries spans um, the capacity to produce the capacity to produce 1 million saplings per year, but because we've got
Oh,
two tree
that's great.
nurseries operating. Yeah,
That's fantastic,
yeah,
man.
yeah, of course.
Another.
So I'm so devastated not to have in the computer because I was about to share my screen totally from what I did. So for quick details, we are partnering with Replant Wood to on reforestation, including the planting of native trees from the degraded lands, apart from the agroforestry, because we are doing agroforestry with the communities to ensure the effective participation and pride on restoration of the degraded lands. We want to ensure that there's sustainable livelihoods among the individuals, and of course, once we are sure with that, and we think that the communities are capable of involving themselves on restoration. So we are using the two technologies at the up to date, including the use of polygons. I think I shared it with Fatin, if you may be familiar with that. And the new one that is new and that came up recently is the use of the app to report the trees that we have planted. So let me try to share some, if I can try to look for it. Sorry, 1 minute.
No worries. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Go for it.
Okay. Okay. So looking for. Okay. Can you see the screen? So
Yes.
probably. So that's one among of the planting sites. I think we've got the coordinates of the trees that have been planted. So I'm sorry for sharing all this, but
No worries, man. That's amazing.
I,
That's awesome like this.
I just have been devastated. I'm missing to share what could have been the best and very supporting information with you, Gabriel. So the picture you can see out there is the students from Kitopeni. They like the we took the picture while they are planting a tree from one among of from so little initiatives, but trying to involve the schools and communities on environmental education and awareness creation. So I think I can jump directly to Drive so that I can share some images and videos from activities. I don't think it'll actually work. So, as you can see there, Gabriel, I'm looking for a video. That's our teachings from that's Persia Americana, the fruit tree where we teach the students on how to plant them and on tree maintenance too. So
Great. I see there's a lot of kids doing so it's involving schools, right? So that's amazing.
let me actually start from here. I think I can. So someone has interrupted. I think it's the birthday of Carol. I think
No, that's great, man. Yeah, just one curiosity. Why the name Bula Garden means? Why it's a Bula Garden?
So what I would like to ask is I think I've ruined it, but all of the details I think I've actually restudied from my computer. Had a had an issue with it, but that's one among of our activities involving the students on tree planting and teaching them on the best ways to plant. So that's actually the hole after the holes have been dug out. one among of the students cheering up. So, Gabriel, I think I'm probably having a bad day onwards, and
Don't worry, don't
because
worry, no, no.
I think
No, worry,
uh, personally try to share it with you probably next time. And please accept
no
my
worries.
sincere apologies. And I think I'm
Yeah, yeah,
having
these
completely
things happen,
having
man. Those things
a bad
happen.
day.
Don't worry about
So
that. Those things
I
happen.
really
We thank you a
understand
lot
from
for presenting.
sharing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aurora. Thank you a lot for presentation. Thank you a lot for showing some of the work, amazing work. Also, we are very, very, very proud to be partners with such great communities. And I thank you both a lot. I want to just take these last few minutes for David, our founder, chief scientist, just to say some words for us and some great announcements that we have for the communities. Go,
Hello, can
David.
you hear me? Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
First of all, both of you amazing. We're so grateful to have you in the to support you and to hopefully collaborate for many months, years to come. We have really great announcements. So, as you know, we have some. We are running a small grants program now that will give you a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 for impact in the past. So you don't have to start a new project. You don't have to basically. It's the money is not linked to any deliverables, but it's really about in the past, and it's kind of a small gateway to go into Web3 because we believe that this technology Web3 is very powerful for raising additional funds for your conservation work, and not a lot of people know about this just yet. And we at Gainforest really want to make sure that you have access to these funds as well. So at Gainforest, we are now 32 communities working closely together in Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, but also in areas where Gabriel is from, in Brazil, in areas where Nina is from, for example, in the southern Philippines and Southeast Asia. So we have a very strong network. And from those 42 communities, 7 already have been able to achieve funding outside from Gainforest, that is from Web3, thanks to our Road to Gitcoin program. And we would like to extend an invitation to you as well. Always reach out to us. We want to make sure that you get both of the worlds, really good monitoring, free satellite data, but also access to just knowing about cool technology and ways to get new funding. So that's why Gabriel and I, we have been working on something that we're going to announce today. It's a small kind of school. So I know school is maybe not necessarily the sexiest term, but we think it's important to keep on learning forever. And we have this small Web3 course that we are offering now bi-weekly, which Gabriel and I, we will just tell you a little bit of how do you create, like, if you don't have a bank account, how do you still receive money? What is this digital money about? How can I convert this digital money back into local currencies? Where does this money even come from? Who funds it, right? So you make sure that this is aligned to your values as well. And we really hope that this class offering, and you can sign up either by contacting Gabriel, or Gabriel is going to share a QR code later, is going to really help you get to know more technology that helps you in doing your work better and also in fundraising. So again, we at Gainforce super grateful for both of your presentation today. I learned a lot. And if there's any questions, anything we can help with, feel free. There's an open door. You're part of our like extended family now, and so you're more than welcome to reach out anytime.
Amazing. Let me just share the QR code here, guys. So just you can scan QR code, and then we'll take you to our Telegram group. But in any way, if you're not able to scan right now, that don't worry at all. At all, we're gonna send it in the group. Also, we're gonna keep on contacting you about this. Just let me just a second. Okay, so this is our This is our QR code from our Telegram group. So if you want to scan, if you want to copy or send it to another partner, this is how we get into the group. But don't worry if you're not able to do that right now. You're gonna follow up every time contacted, and you can count on us to do everything great. I want to. Oh, perfect. David is written a comment here that is open beyond our community partners. It's just sharing knowledge. So you can share it to here in Tanzania. If you have another groups, just share it. It would be great to have this experience with all of you. I think we are gonna wrap up a little bit earlier today. But we want to thank you so much. Thanks so much, Regis. Thanks so much, Lulu. Thank you so much, Bula Garden. Thanks so much, Blue Carbon. What an amazing work. I'm really thrilled to work more closely with you. And thank you. And we're going to give you some updates on the group. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you so
And
much.
Bye.